Today I'm joined by Daniel Maginga from GroFin, as well as Matt Hayden from The Recycler. Welcome to you both. We're so happy to have you guys here. Daniel, would you mind kicking us off and introducing yourself and tell us a little bit more about GroFin?
My name is Daniel Maginga. I'm an investment executive for GroFin Tanzania. And GroFin is an impact investment fund. We operate out of 15 African and Middle East countries. And one of the area of interest for our fund is in agribusiness and specifically aquaculture in Tanzania. And we've been engaged on Aquacelerator with some of the players, and we're trying to see how best we can support them, financially support to develop this sector in the country.
The Recycler is a waste management and recycling company that started about 3 years ago in Tanzania. We do a lot of waste management and recycling with lots of big clients and also collecting as much recyclables as we can. We've recently gone into insect-derived protein using organic waste from the sites that we collect and making them into high-protein feed for fish and for chickens with the help of the Blue Economy Challenge. Essentially, most aquaculture, the main source of protein that they use is called fish meal. And right now, if you look around our oceans, around 85% of our oceans fisheries are depleted or on the verge of depletion or on the verge of collapse. And so prices for fish meal have gone up continuously. They've rose significantly from about $500 per ton in the early 2000s to $1,500 per ton now. So basically, we need better sources for protein that are more sustainable, that can help our fisheries last longer, and that can also, be at a decent price and a good price point. So that's the main reason we started to using waste and to try and fulfill that role of fish meal and aquaculture in a sustainable way.
Thank you, Daniel. When you're looking at an investment in aquaculture, obviously having a value chain that has inputs like feed that are well established, but then also markets at the other end. What are the other things that you look for as far as making an investment in the aquaculture space?
What has been the challenges in financing the aquaculture here in Tanzania has been specifically the quality of the feedlings. The second one was the quality of the feed. And the third one is expertise on running the farm. So we find a lot of potential entrepreneurs and people who are in these industries, but they're struggling on those three specific areas. So it becomes difficult for them to develop a business which can have required financial return to the investor into this sector. So the three areas which are the challenges, and we've always been trying to see how best we can sort. And now someone like Recycler coming in with an area to improve the quality of feeds, fitting on exactly the actual challenges on the development of the aquaculture industry in Tanzania.
Daniel, tell us a little bit more about your experience at the Big Think, the workshop that was held a couple weeks ago in Dar es Salaam.
Yes, I think the workshop brought in very diversified groups of who had the interest on the aquaculture, and it fits in, I think, on the what we'll call the aquaculture matrix challenge, specifically what are the issues on the industry, the quality of the entrepreneurs, the funds which supports this kind of investments, the expertise which we have around the industry, as well as on how best to move this industry to a level where there will be a number of success stories on entrepreneurs from the small, medium, and commercial farming, specifically in Tanzania. And that workshop, I think it brought in a lot of inputs and made exactly the kind of the way forward on how best to take up a lot of these kind of incubators into becoming success stories into aquaculture industry in Tanzania.
At the workshop, Daniel, I know you worked very closely on private sector driven solutions to develop this aquaculture economy in Tanzania. Matt, you worked on a little bit an idea around an incubator around aquaculture. Do you mind going into that a little bit and telling us a little bit more about that opportunity?
One of the things that came out of the workshop is that there's a potential to have an incubator that will allow people who are interested in aquaculture, both locally and internationally, to kind of have an entrance point, to try out a few things, to do trials, and to make connections in order to scale, especially those that are solving these issues that Daniel articulated, which include issues of feed, fingerlings, and expertise. All of these things need to come together in order to take the industry of aquaculture in Tanzania, which currently is very much in its nascence, and grow it to a stage where it can attract large-scale investment, both on a local and on a forward way.
I'd love to hear from both of you, maybe starting with you, Daniel, what you see as the future for aquaculture in Tanzania, whether we're talking about 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. What can it look like and what kind of impact can it have on the country?
With the initiatives which came out of the conference, I think the private sector initiatives are very important, specifically with having a governing body for the aquaculture, so that some of the challenges, specifically on the technical support and other challenges, especially on the expertise of the fingerlings and the feeds, will definitely really assist in terms of moving this industry forward. My view is, with the people coming in with the technical expertise as far as from Madagascar and Seychelles and Mauritius coming in the country, I think we can move up the aquaculture industry into the next level on supporting the small, medium, and even the commercial farms, and we can become one of the countries with a very well established aquaculture business in East Africa and Africa at large.
I agree. I think there's a lot to learn from other countries that in the Indian Ocean region that are a little more advanced and have a more developed sector. But I also think that it's hopeful and realistic for Tanzania to be an example for the rest of East Africa, and then on a regional and continental scale as well. Matt, your take as an entrepreneur, you're maybe a little more focused on your business, but also what's your vision for Tanzania? And you've made a big commitment to be there in country, so you must have grand visions and hopes for the country and the sector as well.
Yeah, I mean, Tanzania has a lot of opportunities. I mean, it's a massive country. It's bigger than Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi combined. It has, a large coastline. It also has the 3 biggest lakes in the region: Victoria, Nyasa, and Tanganyika. And yet still it's importing in fish from India and from China. It's not the fisheries on all these lakes are in a lot of trouble. They're on the verge of collapse in many cases. And so finding solutions in aquaculture is very important in order to provide a growing population to have access to affordable protein. So with all the space and all the resources that exist in Tanzania, it looks like one of the more perfect places to do aquaculture based on all that, as long as you get a few things in line and together. Everything from feed to expertise and fingerlings and things like that. So, I mean, I expect that Tanzania could be able to do lots of them. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities, from sea urchins to sea cucumbers to, I mean, all along the area, there are opportunities to make aquaculture grow in this country, and that's what I expect to see.
the support from the stakeholders like yourself, Daniel, and the folks that were able to come to that big think, and the broader network of people that see the potential of aquaculture has got us really excited, has got the Innovation Exchange really excited. And I think as far as us closing the Aquacelerator out on this World Oceans Day, I think there's a lot of potential for follow-up projects, and whether that's through private sector development, whether that's through an incubator, I think those are to be explored, but the pieces are in place to kind of look at the next opportunities, and we're really excited to explore that with both of you. So again, I want to thank you both. For those of you joining us, if you want to learn more, we encourage you to visit theblueeconomychallenge.com. You can follow Aquacelerator on social media for the latest on the Aquacelerator, and you'll be able to read and see more information on Daniel Maginga from GroFin and Matt Hayden from The Recycler. So once again, guys, thanks so much for joining, and everybody out there, have a great day.